13 unbelievable Lotto winners. 13. 1 minute there, next minute gone. And I'm not just referring to his winnings. This poor guy ended up committing suicide as he couldn't handle the pressure of his big winnings. Billy Bob Harrell was one of the better Lotto winners and gave away vast sums of his $31 million winnings away to those in need. However, he was constantly harassed by people, had to change his numbers several times, and ended up separating from his wife. Sadly, his son found him dead just 20 months later. 12. The winning ticket. That's what Aruj Khan had when he won $1 million in 2012. However, the day after he collected his winning check, he was found dead in his Chicago home. At first, toxicology reports didn't find anything amiss. However, when a relative asked them to check for cyanide, sure enough, there were traces of cyanide in his system, which means Mr. Khan would have suffered a terrible death. No one has been implicated in the death, but fingers have pointed to his second wife and her father. 11. Money, the root of all evil. When Jeffrey Dampier won $20 million in 1996, he was obviously over the moon. He decided to get his gourmet popcorn business dream off the ground, which went off without a hitch. His problems started mainly due to the fact that he was having an affair with his sister-in-law. He began lavishing gifts on her, and when she started getting greedy, she and her boyfriend decided to rob him. That went horribly wrong when during the robbery, the boyfriend turned a gun on her and said to her, "Shoot him or I'll shoot you." So she killed him. 10. Talk about karma. Thomas and Denise Rossie were married for 25 years when Denise won the Lotto. She didn't tell Thomas about her winnings, instead served him with divorce papers. Thomas said he was really shocked as always thought they were pretty happy. The divorce took place and only 3 years later did Thomas find out about her winnings. Under California's law, all assets need to be disclosed during a divorce. Denise had to give every single penny she won to Thomas and lost everything. 9. Rules are there for a reason. In the USA, you have to be 18 or over to win the lottery, but in the UK, the age is 16. Callie Rogers won the UK lottery and walked away with £1.9 million. Instead of investing it wisely, she blew it on drugs and plastic surgery. She was very unhappy and even tried to commit suicide. Fortunately, she is now clean and a mom, although she has nothing of her winnings left. 8. Money can't buy brains. Justin had a fixation with Goldmember, a parody on the James Bond movie Goldfinger. He decided to imitate parts of the movie and firstly began by painting his intimate areas with lead-based paint, but it wasn't quite what he wanted. So he then painted the area with gold. It wasn't long thereafter that he died because of the lead-based paint. 7. Such bad luck. Winning the Lotto, that is. Michael Carroll was working as a bin man in the UK, and he won the Lotto at the age of 19. When he was a garbage man, he was earning $45 a week, and he then won $15 million. He did the responsible thing and splurged all his winnings on expensive cars, drugs, booze, and women. He was known as the king of chavs, and found himself being blackmailed at times and having to pay them. In a nutshell, he lost everything and asked for his job as a garbage man back. 6. Not Monopoly money. Someone should have been there to tell that to Jay Summers when he won his share of $28.9 million. He was just 20 at the time and blew the money on cars and whatever his heart desired. Within 5 years, he was broke and applying for a job as a pizza delivery guy. He says he is still bitter about the winnings and believes he would have been better off without the win. 5. Blood is not always thicker than water. Just ask William Post, whose own brother hired a hitman to kill him after he won $16.2 million. If you had to meet William, you would never in a million years guess he was once a multi-millionaire. He is living in a rundown home and happy to have his tiny bit of money from his Social Security disability grant. So, he has almost been murdered, got divorced, and is now poor. And all of that because of his huge winnings. 4. Spend, spend, spend. Those were the words used by Viv Nicholson when her husband won the Lotto in 1961. The money was worth around $7 million today, so a massive win. And that's what she did. She spent loads of money. Her hubby then died in a car accident, and within 4 years, she was penniless. She resorted to stripping, became an alcoholic, tried to kill herself, and finally converted to Jehovah's Witness and passed away in 2015. 3. Money doesn't buy happiness. David Lee Edwards won a fourth of the Powerball jackpot in 2001, which meant he walked away with $27.1 million. It didn't even take 5 years for he and his wife Shauna to squander the money. They ended up living in a storage unit, and Shauna walked out of the marriage, and David eventually passed away in hospice at the age of 58. His initial wish of providing for his daughter never came to fruition, and his daughter now works at an amusement park. 2. Be careful what you wish for. This Lotto winner started off amazingly well. Jack Whittaker won the Lotto on Christmas Day 2002 and donated 10% to the church, gave $100,000 to the guy who sold him the lucky ticket, and even spent a fortune on the lady he bought sandwiches from. When people heard about his winnings, they began to sue him, and he had 460 lawsuits against him. He started getting arrested for driving under the influence, was often seen in casinos, and he had countless cash stolen from him. His family spent a great deal of the fortune, and his granddaughter became addicted to drugs. She later died from an overdose. 5 years after that, his only daughter passed away as well. So winning all that money brought him nothing but unhappiness. 1. Making the same mistake twice is Evelyn Adams, who has won the lottery twice, once in 1985 and another time in 1986, gaining around $5.4 million. The money is all used up, and she now lives in a trailer, as Evelyn thought it would be a great idea to go gambling with the money. She says she has absolutely no regrets about her decisions.